It's live.
Yes, we are. What
Okay.
is up, guys? First live of the year, and I got a great guest with me, Vanessa, aka She.Rides.Moto. So,
Hello.
just an awesome time tonight, chilling out, talking motorcycle stories. So, I know she's had a few problems with her bikes. Well,
Can we see if there's people on here? Do you see?
It's showing 5 on my side. So we got it's 6. So it's actually showing me.
I don't see anything.
What's up, man? What's up, buddy? Let's see.
Oh, I see it. Hello.
We got
see the
Scott.
comments now. Hello. Oh, okay, now I'm sharing it to other things. Sorry, y'all.
Okay.
I'm a total noob on here. Hi. That is
now that's
so
a distance.
Cool. So
from
fancy.
Canada.
Canada. I'm sorry. Someone had to do it.
Yeah. So we got Scott, Hells, Drew. So yeah, welcome, guys. So yeah, just starting off this year. I just got back from Daytona. I did try to get Vanessa to go down to Daytona with me.
That was
just didn't work out. It is what it is, but still got to go down there with my pops. Got most of those videos out. I just released the last one where I actually ended up having problems. He had double the problems down there, broke a throttle cable. And then now what we're thinking is just the plug on his bike came undone. So it wasn't charging. And that's why it just completely died. So that was just a terrible night.
You would have been riding on the back of my bike if I went.
Yeah. Oh, it was. I mean, we didn't get back to the Airbnb until 3:00 that night because he had to Uber, go back, get the truck and trailer, come back, get me. And I can tell you, I am so glad I did not have the tour pack on that bike because it made it easier to push it up on the trailer and then shift the rear end over. So if I had a tour pack, I'm like, what are we going to do? It's like,
where were you guys at?
DeLand. So we had just almost got outside of DeLand because we had left Burning Bike. Riding fine. Clutch ended up, I grabbed it, it got soft. I'm like, okay, maybe it just stuck. And then it went back, and then all of a sudden, nothing.
Was it dark already?
Oh, yeah.
It was nighttime, right? It was the Burning Bike, you said?
Yeah. So it was, I think by the time we actually broke down and got out of the traffic, it was right about close to midnight. So I'm literally trying to ride it without a clutch. So I'm shifting gears, all that. Going straight, no problem. Trying to actually take turns and stop, that was where the problem was. I'm like, okay, I got to get into first and just kill it.
There's always something with you.
You know, I mean, we had our experience.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's always something with you.
Yeah. I mean, we had bad gas, you know. Now, that was not exactly my fault. You pulled into that gas station, but, you know.
It's not my fault.
Well, okay, I filled up. So, I mean, you picked the gas station, but I had the choice to put the gas in. So,
yeah.
But, I mean, out of every trip, now I would say that was
such a sketchy gas station. We should have known. But with it being, you would have thought that there would have already been more. Well, no, they did say that other people were getting bad gas there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, Corpus Christi. Okay, I know exactly kind of the area you're in because I used to live in the Dallas area, just north of Dallas. So,
Two-wheel travel says to remind him to never ride with us too. I don't
Scott.
think I'm the problem. I think CJ's the problem. Wait, I have to
Oh,
way,
yeah,
right?
yeah, pointing, yeah, this
Wait,
way, yeah,
it's
yeah.
backwards. Oh,
Hey, yeah, I was able to run into Scott and Heather down there at Burning Bike. So
I
Heather was
love
able to make
them.
it. So now Scott was going to leave his truck and trailer here and then ride down, but because of weather. So I was talking to you, I was talking to them, and it was just all kind of crazy stuff right then.
Ooh, that Scott and Heather, that was who Ryan stayed with, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Stubborn.
Yeah, you met him up in Wisconsin.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Or not, or yeah, Milwaukee. So,
Milwaukee and Stubborn.
yep,
That was a fun time.
it was.
What happened? Did you get him tipsy? Rolling throttle?
You would throw that in there. You really would.
I want to know what happened. Sup, Joe?
Oh, first time meeting him. So it was at Froggy's down there in Daytona, and then ended up riding with them and hanging out with them the rest of the night. So I took the bike back. So that was an experience.
Tell me
Ooh.
more. Was this not appropriate?
No, it is. I mean, just
He's turning
they
red.
were thinking I was getting a little awkward, or I wouldn't hang out with them again. But so Joe, Joe's actually going to be in Pensacola. Okay, so he's actually said Pensacola tomorrow.
Joe, where do you live?
Ohio.
Joe's in Ohio.
Yep.
Nice. Is it still?
Yeah.
How's the weather up there?
Oh, I can only imagine. I can only imagine with the weather.
I thought that it had been a more mild winter up north. Because I still have my map thingy on Sioux Falls. So whenever I'm like changing locations, it'll still pop up over there. Oh, CJ got a stepdad and there was Harry Nichols in the backseat. What? We're gonna need more more story. There's something missing here.
Not that really just explains kind of everything. Like, so he actually not
Like there's content missing here.
just a little bit. He wanted to actually call my mother and all that kind of stuff, take her out on a date. So it was an interesting. No.
Did you just say no? Rude. Just meet me at a rally. I'll tell a story.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to.
he'll fill you in like with everything.
I feel like he's getting thrown under the bus right now.
Maybe just a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, snow and more snow.
Do you have the comments thing open on the right-hand side so you can see them faster?
Yeah. Yeah, I got them all up on the right.
Oh, okay.
Can you see the comments?
Yeah. Next rally. Oh gosh. So I feel like I rallied myself out last year.
You hit so many rallies. I mean, you went to Daytona. That's where me and you first met. Apparently, I meet a lot of people like the first time in Daytona, but that's one I try to hit every year. Tweedledee is in the house, but
hello.
Then you hit Sturgis, you hit Stubborn, you hit Eureka.
I went to Myrtle. Did I go to Myrtle?
I think you did.
Did I?
It was either last year or the year before. I know one of the years you hit.
I went both years.
Okay.
Yes. The first year I only went for like a weekend, and then like actually not even a weekend. It was like 2 nights that I went, but the first night that I got there so late I basically went straight to bed. And then I did go again last year. I have to remember But yeah. Okay, so Myrtle, Sturgis. I can't remember. I didn't like Daytona.
So, Daytona is kind of hit or miss for me. I mean, but last year I went by myself. All the rest of the years, I've always gone with my pops, all that kind of stuff. So it's usually a fun time with us of just riding around. So I think that's where it's a little bit different when you kind of have somebody to go with or something planned out for Daytona than just bouncing around. Because unless you go ride like the Ormond Loop or some out riding, which there's not
There's
as
just not
much
a
of
lot
that.
of riding. Like, I am
Right.
spoiled where I live. So it's like, why do I like you can't even really ride near the beach that much. Like, I don't know. I'm not a fan.
Oh, thanks, Joe. Yeah, I'm glad you're loving the Derby cover. Now,
I still
have you even put yours on?
no. So I kind of want to mount it on the wall in the garage like with
Okay.
Aria. I kind of think I'm going to do that because so since I removed the air filter, you can't. I mean, it's only a 114, but that's the only other thing that says 114 because I changed the air filter. Now the air filter doesn't say 114, so the current dirt. I mean,
You
yeah.
kind of want to show, yeah. See, that was one reason I did my own custom air cleaner, to where it actually shows the engine size.
You did a
Because
custom air cleaner too?
yeah,
Oh, fancy. I don't.
the cover, because it's because I run the SNS on it,
Yeah.
so all it is a faceplate. So I actually cut out my air cleaner cover and then had it engraved and everything like that, powder coated two tone. So
Yeah. See, I did the Tab Performance, their zombie air cleaner, but I like it because
okay,
it's actually see-through and everyone has I think it's the Trask one that's see-through, right? The
yeah,
circular one, and it looks really cool. It looks super
it,
cool, but I
it,
feel like
it
everyone has
does.
that one. So I have one
Well,
that's also clear, but it's also got all the triangle shapes and it fits with all of the edges and angles and stuff that I have on my bike. I don't know. It suits
yeah.
it.
Now, because when I was looking at going with air cleaners, I had the big, shoot, just that force winder that comes way out. Well, it would always hit my leg. So I was looking at something that would tuck in a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
The Trask wouldn't do that for me. So, but pull that back up. Yeah. I can see that, Scott. I really could. With you being up there in Milwaukee area,
Oh, wait, is Two
snow.
Wheel Travels, is that Scott? Is
Yeah,
that
that's
Scott
Scott.
and like Scott from Scott and Heather Scott?
Yep.
Oh, hi. Be
Yep.
quiet.
That's them.
I was like, wait, I know
Yeah.
you.
Heather wanted to make it. She said that she had curling tonight. So,
Mm.
but yeah,
Oh, dear
that's
she.
Scott and Heather. Yeah. And I think Joe's glad to be getting down to Pensacola out of the weather he's been having. So, I hate that I'm missing that because he's literally going to be in my neck of the woods.
Hmm.
Because within the day he's headed back, I'm headed back down to Navarre.
Headed where? Holy
No, what
moly. Sorry, continue.
basically right next to Pensacola. Like, I mean, it's like probably 20 miles outside of Pensacola.
Yeah. Um, so since this is our first time going live, I just thought to check the Instagram one as well because it's
Yeah.
sharing to Instagram. And apparently people are, it doesn't link people to come back over here. It just mirrors it over there.
Oh,
That's pretty
okay.
cool. Whoa, oh, missed a lot. Hi, everyone from Instagram as well. Oh, there's such a delay. Okay.
Oh,
You're watching
yeah.
her curl during. Oh, so you're actually there at her curling thingy. Cool.
So did you finally get Aria ready to ride though? Because I know you were putting tires on her
I'm
and
picking her up
brakes.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was new tires, new brakes. Also needed a clutch adjustment and needed wheel bearings. I think that was it. And Bastion also needs new tires. I don't remember if he needs new brakes, but he needs new tires. But that's okay. He's not my main boo. He can sit and wait
Right.
for his new shoes. Poor bike. And it makes me mad that he even needs new tires. He's only at like 8,000, but obviously it's a soft tail, so it's gonna need him sooner. But
And it depends on what kind of tires that are on it and what is on it? Dunlop?
yeah, he still has the stock ones.
Okay.
I still went with the Michelin Commander 3s on Aria. I was gonna try the Metzler, but I mean, my
I can
Michelin
say something about that. Like, well, I haven't tried all the Metzlers,
the
but
888s is what someone recommended.
I
I think it just
that's what I
depends on
had. That's
yeah.
what I had on there. That's what I'm taking off.
Hmm.
Well, I've already switched my rear tire out to a Shinko. They're 999. So
Mhm.
far, I like it. It's a little bit more stickier. The front one, which I'm actually going to do a video about that, uh, I have not liked it. I mean, it's still showing a lot of tread left on the front tire to where,
Yeah.
but it's almost like riding on a cobblestone road the entire time, the
Hmm.
way it has cupped. So I'm not a big fan of it. So I'm switching over to the Shinko.
Yeah.
So apparently Joe's running the Shinkos. So this first time actually running it, and now on the Sportster, I probably will put the Shinko 777s because of the way I do ride that bike,
Yeah.
and I'm looking for something sticky.
That's what she
So,
said. Sorry. Welcome to Live with She.Rides.Moto.
but yeah,
Inappropriate
after you
sense of
had
humor.
mentioned the wheel bearings, I was like, let me just change out the wheel bearings. I'm gonna do front fork service, the whole 9 yards. Once I get the bike back up here, um, so because I'm going back down to Navarre, finish up the bike. I had to do a clutch adjustment.
Oh, you
It
did
was
too?
actually the throwout bearing that went out on that bike. I mean,
Hmm.
it melted it. I mean, that's I got to finish up that film to show everything, but the whole wheel bearing or not, or throwout bearing. So it's basically a push rod, oil slinger, and then you got a washer bearing and another washer. So when you pull in your clutch, that ramp pushes that against your clutch. That went out. So it actually just disintegrated it.
So how did that make your bike? So mansplain this to me, okay? Because
Okay.
I'm dumb. So
So
what does it feel like when that's going out?
actually, well, that's the thing. It just kind of went soft. Um, yeah, yeah,
Oh no,
but
that's a problem.
but if it just goes, you'll have no clutch. Like your lever, like all that, you have too much play up in your lever, so it'd be just gone. So
So is it like it's further out, right? Like, does it just
no,
make it too?
so it'd be your lever actually be to your bars, so you have no clutch whatsoever. Like if you're throwout bearing,
Huh.
so you got your lever that runs your cable down to your ball and ramp that actually actuates that push rod, and that push rod pushes against your plates on the other side. So
We're hurting Scott's virgin ears.
she
Sorry, Scott.
okay, so somebody likes the Commanders.
I really liked the Commanders, and they lasted me 30, 35, about 12 or 13,000 miles, which is
Okay.
pretty decent considering they're stickier than the Dunlops.
I haven't run the Commanders. Just I went from Dunlop to the Metzler 888s because of doing so much traveling.
Yeah.
Because they said it was a harder compound, but I haven't had any. I only got 10,000 miles out of the rear, which is about average.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say I got any more mileage than a Dunlop or anything like that. But the way the front's acting. But then let's see. So Joe's been running the 777s, and I was iffy about that because they are really on the sticky side, and with being on a bagger, that's why I went with the
Yeah.
99.
You'll have to let me know how those do.
So far, I'm liking the rear. I changed it out before I went to the Stubborn American Party. So
That was a while
3,000.
ago.
Yeah, but so I got 3,000 to 4,000 miles on the rear, and it's holding up good.
Dang, Corey.
Dang. Yeah. So that's a lot better
Yeah.
than 10,000. I mean,
I have a hard time remembering what I do to the bike. Like, and when I do it, because it's like there's been so much in a short time frame, so I'm trying to remember when I did it. Because I did 2 services while I was up in South Dakota. Like, I did my
okay.
30 I did my 30 and my 35 while I was up in South Dakota. Oh, someone's calling me out.
Yeah. I was wondering when that was going to come out.
Okay, so what had happened was I actually recorded some videos literally like for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, okay? I don't think have I posted anything since then? I don't think I have.
I haven't seen anything.
I'm a
And that's
horrible
probably
person.
why somebody's calling you out because,
I know. No, so I posted my when I went moto camping because I went moto camping by myself, like actually by myself.
yep. I think that was the last one I saw.
Yeah, but I posted that 2 months ago. Hang on, what's the actual date? I posted that January 4th,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I had recorded it in November. Either end of October or early November. Um,
Oh,
so
thank
it
you,
took me
Joe. Hey, I hope, I get to see you soon. I wish I was being able to make it down to Pensacola, if I can get down there a day early, but hopefully the slow races go good for you. But yeah, I will catch up with you later, and I'm glad you are enjoying the Derby cover. But thank you again.
Yeah, so it took 2 months for me to, like, actually get my ish together and edit that one, and then I had recorded one for Thanksgiving, and I just that day did not go as planned, which is probably why I should I mean, it was a fine day, I just haven't posted or, like, finished editing it, and then I don't know. I feel
Yeah,
like
see, I get
garage videos are so boring, like, it's so awkward for me to just think of, like, let me sit in the garage and talk about motorcycle stuff or just my thoughts on motorcycle related things and trips. So,
I don't know. That's where I've changed up a little bit this year of kind of how I'm doing it and which camera I'm using as my main vlogging camera.
yeah.
And I'm really enjoying my Pocket 2 for the video quality. Still trying to work out the mic, but I can always plug one in or get the wireless, the clip on me.
Mhm.
But the only reason I don't really want to do the wireless is when somebody else is talking or trying to pick up audio somewhere else. I think it's going to be way too quiet. So
You're
I'm
talking
still,
about using the Pocket 2 with the DJI mic?
yeah, yeah.
I mean, you could also get because it comes with you can get the 2-pack and that way hand it to that other person, but I guess if it's, like, in the moment, it's harder to be like
Right. Well, that's where I was kind of going with that. I mean, if I'm doing more of an interview, that would be pretty cool.
yeah.
But it was like walking around Daytona So I'm still adjusting the little settings on that, but the actual video quality I think was excellent on that.
Mhm.
But some of the times I could tell I'm trying to adjust sound and like mine would be loud, but then like somebody else's that's not even that far
Yeah.
away, it'd be so low. So I've tried turning or about to turn auto on the mic off and just put it on high so that way I can adjust everything down from there instead of it trying to level.
Yeah. It's like it's also hard, like, remembering to get all of that ready and getting it all charged and like, then importing everything, like, when you have several different cameras and, um,
Yeah. And
so
that's
much
why
gear.
so that's where I've really kind of limited myself down. So like my 9 is on my helmet, so that way all my talking. I don't like doing voiceovers because it comes out so monotone
Yeah.
for me. But I have to remember to because I don't like the media mod that much, but I like it because it's lighter on the helmet.
Hmm.
But if I put a fresh battery in, I need to turn the camera on, turn it back off, or the quick action doesn't really want to work all the time.
Hmm.
So I've had that little bit of problem because my last film, I thought it was recording and it just turned it on. So the next time I pushed it, it started recording. So there was no talking point. So I had to do a voiceover.
Oh, that
So, and then I used my DJI Pocket 2 literally for all my walking around, my main vlogging in
yeah.
the shop. And it's got auto track. So I can hook it up
Wait,
to
what
the
does?
phone.
Which camera?
The DJI Pocket 2.
It has auto wait, I have that camera and I don't know that?
So it's got it's got tracking on it. So, but it depends on what frame rate you're using though. Not all frame
Mhm.
rates you can use the tracking,
Yeah.
but I think but yeah, you can literally pair it to your phone and literally swipe over something and it'll follow.
Huh. I did not know that.
Yep. So I really like that one. And then my 11, I like it. I'm trying a different setting because right now it slows my computer down when I do it. So I only use it literally for ride shots. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's I think just those 2 are a little easier. And then you know what's hard is, like so for me, coming back from Sturgis, like, I actually finally recorded some decent content coming back from that, and it was so hard, like well, this was operator error because I did not adjust the date and times on the cameras, so I was writing back in October, and whenever I uploaded the documents, it had a date of, like, February 2082. Somehow we were in the future. Yeah.
Oh.
So so me trying to find the sections, like, I literally had to go through on there and watch the video, figure out where I was, looking for signs and stuff, and or looking at my GPS screen. Oh, yeah, that was a mess. That's why it takes me, like, forever. I need to organize all of that so I can do better with editing. And
Yeah,
just
it's been a struggle, but yeah, this is our first live. Definitely my first live of the year and our first live
yeah,
together. So it was, she
first
was like, "Hey, let's do a live together. Let's do it on your platform." I was like, "Okay, set the time or what works out with you." So
I'm like,
it was a little
basically
bit of coordination.
yeah, I'm an awkward turtle, so wait, awkward turtle.
Yeah.
Oh, why am I this way?
Hey, but the
Anyways,
nicest person that you could ever run into. I mean, you walk up to her, she's like,
I paid him to say that.
"Oh yeah."
Mhm. So, what upcoming trips do you have?
Oh, let's see.
Oh,
Okay.
I forgot to answer this man's question. My next video. Okay. So I have a trip I guess this leads into what we were talking about. So I'm leaving for Nashville in 2 days on the bike, and it's not that far, but I'm taking back
No.
roads there. Um, Going with my friend and because it's cheaper, and staying on a houseboat.
Oh,
It's actually this super cool, um, like, RV resort and marina. So what so I was gonna do a motorcycle destinations video on it also, but not anymore. Now I'm just posting it to my Instagram because this place, like, you could go on your bikes there and then stay on a boat or stay in an RV or, whatever, but it's on the lake. So it's super
I mean,
cool.
that would still be a good video for your channel
Yeah,
of
that's what I'm gonna
your,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I meant yeah, sorry, I meant as far as with that place. But yeah, so I'm gonna I have to
So
figure out.
okay, so you got Nashville, which that ain't far from me. That's only like I think 3 hours north of me.
Nice.
Uh, maybe four. Um, so next trip, I gotta get the bagger back up to here, but that'd be a couple weeks because of moving some family. So the bike's gonna be my transportation back to here. So I'm kind of leaving it down there. Um, I leave out literally Sunday, going back to Orange Beach. So I'll be down there for about a week. Don't really know if I'm going to do any filming because it's more kind of vacation for the wife. So try to see how that goes. But I'm trying to make it to Traveling Tall's event, Run to the Hills 4, which would be in June. From there, I think me and my pops are going to do a Tell a Dragon run. So he's got to figure out his bike. I think I'm going to do it again on the Sportster, especially if I make Tall's event. I'm going to take the bagger.
You'll have
So,
to let me know when you do that
yeah.
so I can come meet up with you there.
So that'd be just an awesome trip.
Hello, Dr. Holly.
What is up, man? So I did not get to run into Doc Harley or see his bike down in Daytona, but I mean, you know how Daytona is. Trying to run into people at a big event is hard. I mean, unless they're doing meet and greets or a set time or you're following Instagram stories.
Yeah. You
And
can't
especially,
even it's so hard to post Instagram stories because like there's no service because
and you're constantly
everybody.
moving. Well,
Yeah,
depending on where you're at, and you're constantly going.
yeah.
Uh, and see, I didn't know, and I wish I would have known, like at the Speedway. See, last year you had two openings that you could ride into and park, like real close to the Harley demo truck and everything. You could park
Mhm.
down there or go in, but this year they only had one entrance, so we had rode past it and then went back. So traffic was hellacious. I'm like, I'm waiting for the check engine light to come on. That the bike's getting too hot. I know Pops was getting too hot. I'm like, oh dear Lord.
Ooh,
So
I am just drinking water. H2O.
So, yep. Hate that I didn't get to run into you. I did run into the professional monkeys. So I actually got to meet Miss Monkey this time, being down there. Hung out with Cycle Fanatic, Holy Shift. Awesome
Oh, you
time.
got to meet Holy Shift?
Yeah.
Aw,
Oh, you haven't met Holy Shift?
no.
Okay, so
That's
I've
so
met
sweet.
him last year and this year. So I actually got to hang out with them a little bit.
Nice.
I ran into Tiffany Renee.
I love her.
I actually did not introduce myself, but they were kind of all talking and stuff. I was like, kind of wish I would have got a picture, but I did
Yeah,
not. I tried to actually make it to uh, her two Wills meet and greet
yeah.
and meet Jordan. So that
Oh,
didn't work
right.
out.
Yeah.
But
I
I
met
was at the.
Tiffany. I met Tiffany when like my page was like nothing. And
She's
um
blowing up.
huh?
She's blowing
She
up.
did. Her YouTube blew up and I'm like, "Oh, I'm so proud of her." And like we had started YouTube at the same time, but like she was actually good about being consistent and stuff like that with growing it. And like it's nice cuz like her like, you know, her and her husband work together with doing that and putting that together and I'm like, "Oh, that's
Right.
so cool." And like I just love her and she's just so sweet and so encouraging and so uplifting and just like such like just such a genuine person and like always just being so supportive and
Like you.
no, I suck. I suck. I'm lame. Oh, we have to do these live things once a month apparently. I don't know. Maybe. No promises. Y'all know I suck at accountability and oh, Robbinsville. 28 is way better than 28 in the Skyway are way better than Tail of the Dragon. It should be done by then, shouldn't it? I thought that it would be done already. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't keep up with
Hopefully
it.
so. Because even though trying to make a Tennessee trip, I know we'll ride the Teledragon, but I want to go ride some of the other roads.
Yeah.
But it just kind of depends on how many days we're going to be up there. But the big trip, which me and the wife are planning. Now, I don't get to take a bike on this one, but I'm still going to do some filming and figure it out. Going to Salem, Massachusetts.
Ooh. Can't you do like can't you rent a bike? Maybe for one of the days?
I'll try. That's
You should
more
probably
well,
stop trying to plant seeds that are gonna get you in trouble. Be quiet.
just a little bit because yeah, the wife might get a little mad. She's like, "No, this can't be a motorcycle trip and all that."
Yeah. I guess sometimes you
But
like sometimes.
trying, because I mean, John lives up that way. There's a few people I know that live literally, so try to figure that out. Um, but yeah, that's gonna be the furthest north I've been,
Yeah.
and having to drive it in a car. So I'm like, I'd rather be taking the bike. I so rather take the bike,
Yeah.
but that's I think looking at September time frame right now because
Oh, it's gonna be so pretty up there.
oh yeah, see she wanted to do it around October, but from what she looked up, it's so packed up there that really
Yeah.
wouldn't have that much fun, and I can see that because of that theme.
I feel like oh, that's what someone just said. Avoid it in October. Corey just said to avoid.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a good question for you. What made you become a rider?
A motorcycle? No. Um, I always liked them since I was a kid. Like, I always thought they were super cool, and, you know, anytime I'd, like, even see them on the street when I was with my parents, they'd be like, "No, don't even think about it." Um, and then fast forward to 2018, my parents are gone, and I had gone to a bike night with, my friend Cassie. And, like, she didn't ride or anything either, but she liked going to the bike nights. So I went to one, and I saw all these I saw some a very, very small woman on a bagger, of all things. And I was like, "She's this old, fragile-looking, grandmother-looking," and she was riding this huge bike, and I'm like, "I'm not a small girl. If that little lady can ride that big bike, surely I can ride a smaller bike." And I never thought I would have a bagger. I thought they were hideous. I was the person that called them literally like couches on two wheels. That was me.
You
Uh,
know, see what Blue was to what she is now. I did not like the look. Like 14 and up where they did the whole body change. I liked that year, especially for the road glides. I didn't like
Yeah.
13 back for the road glide. Now I've always liked the street glide, and there's always that controversy: street glide, road glide.
Yeah.
Technically, my favorite is a Road King, stripped down platform,
Yeah.
because I can put FXRP fairing on it. I can make it kind of what I want, but it's kind of funny hearing the stories, like how people get into motorcycles, because I've been around it all my life. And I started out on a dirt bike at 12 years old, street bike at 15, could go anywhere I wanted to. I didn't even want to get my car license because I already had my motorcycle license. And then by 17, I had my Sportster, which I still have, that I've turned it into just a performance Sportster. So, it's interesting to see and get people into this community because there's so much that goes on.
Yeah, gosh, if you had told me that I would someday own a bagger, I would have been like, yeah, no, over my dead body, because those are hideous. And like, I didn't even know how to ride. And it was like literally within the next week or so, I went and I bought a Sportster, brand new Sportster. Didn't even know how to ride. And I bought the bike. One of the guys from the shop had to deliver it to my house. And then, like, 3 weeks later, I finally took the class because I literally just kept going into my garage and I would start the bike, freaking out for a while, like making sure it was in neutral the whole time. Like, I would triple check to make sure that it was in neutral, and then I start the bike. And yeah. Oh,
Yeah, because I mean, my dad would throw me on a Springer at 15, 16 years old. We would do escorted rides. So I grew up like riding in Texas, especially around Dallas traffic.
Oh,
And yeah, so I got used to that. Riding with Legion riders, we'd ride bar to bar fast, So I learned real quick of what to do, how to handle myself.
yeah.
And even being the youngest person, they didn't care if I hung around. So it was really cool kind of growing up through that and seeing that side.
I'm so jealous. That
Because
is
I
so cool.
mean, when I got my Sportster, my dad was like, you want the 1200, you want the 883? I'm like, I want the 883 for exact purposes of building it up.
Yeah.
I wanted to do the 1200 conversion, blew that motor up when we finally did the 1200. I melted the piston.
Oh my gosh.
But I did not know at that time, and it's actually kind of funny because my dad went to MMI, and so he was Harley trained, all that. But we didn't know. Well, I definitely didn't know at that time that, because people were saying, yeah, you can put 1200 pistons with 883 heads. That tell me they need to be cut pistons or dome, because then the compression was too high.
I don't know what any of that means because I'm a girl.
Well, so the higher the compression, you got to run better fuel, like 91, 93. I mean, I always run 91, 93, but the lower the compression, like depending on where you get to, they might not have 91. So you'd have to run like low grade pump fuel. But what you're preventing is that pinging. So with lower compression, you're not as afraid of pinging and damaging your engine. Now, and it all depends on the motor. Like some of their Harley's new motors are already higher compression, but they're a totally different kind of engine to where they can still run regular pump fuel. So, what's up, Harley Pimp 420? Catch up on some questions. Well, that's a question for you.
Like high school? I don't know. Is that the question?
Like,
did I go to college?
Yeah, it's kind of like a little vague there, like toward motorcycles or.
I've only taken the MSF course. I need to go take Robert's classes.
That is one. Bringing up Robert.
Oh, I
So
have, yeah. I've saw him a few weeks ago in Savannah,
yeah,
and
I wish I could have made it out to that because you were running with some of the crowd that we hung out with for the Iron Goddesses down in Daytona, or I think one guy. Um,
I don't know. I've met a lot of them before, like the club
yeah,
style guys.
yeah, the club style. I want to say club
Georgia,
style Dixie
Dixie.
or
I love Dixie.
yeah. So yeah, I saw that he was going.
Yeah.
You, Robert, all that. So that would have been because
Well,
I saw that
so
reel and you went, boom.
so I stayed. I couldn't keep up with the. So I already knew I needed new tires at the time, so I wasn't trying to like go too crazy. Um, and so everyone kind of took off, and there was this one turn like on a bridge on the interstate that like even somebody else said it like the road there was a little bit iffy, and I didn't quite feel as comfortable leaning as much there, especially with the way that my tires were. So I fell back a little bit there, otherwise I would have kept up. We were only going the speed limit. Everyone else was just going like half the speed limit. Okay? We
Yeah,
didn't.
see that.
Yes, left lane syndicate, but it was legal.
Mm,
I don't go fast. Ask CJ,
sure.
I'm very slow.
Yeah, so like right there, I was explaining more like the pump gas to compression and
I love you guys trying to explain things to me. I am not the most technically, mechanically.
hey, that's fine. You know, I mean, that's where again, like growing up in it, I'd be out in the garage working with my pops, and
Yeah,
that
that's so
brought
cool.
back memories this past weekend. Getting back from Daytona, tearing into my bike. He's out there. We got the music cranked up. Awesome time.
Yeah.
But the only thing I haven't really touched is putting a transmission in. I mean, I put a whole Sportster motor in after blowing it up. I'd rather take apart a bigger bike where it's three pieces.
Yeah.
You got the transmission, the primary, and the engine. Sportster, it's all one. So I'm literally like walking that thing, putting the frame over it, lifting it up.
Yeah.
That is the biggest pain. I don't know a dealership, even before they discontinue the Sportsters, that would actually rebuild a Sportster motor or like put one in, because I was going to have a dealership actually repair it. Basically, they told me they would, but they were going to charge me 10 grand, basically what a Sportster costs.
Yeah.
So, and
That
not
doesn't
that
make
they won't do it, but basically what you could go get another Sportster.
Yeah.
So,
It's not speeding, it's spirited riding. That's what I'm gonna start saying now. If I ever get
yeah,
pulled over.
yep. But no, it's been fun though. I mean, Daytona was a blast. The rest of the trips are going to be amazing.
Remember
Uh,
last year in Daytona?
oh,
Remember what we did at night?
oh yeah.
You were behind me?
Shoot, it was. So we had you, me. I'm forgetting their name, but the real hog
Yeah.
wife,
Yeah.
and I forgot your friend. That was just putzing along, and we're just.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I got GPS. I'll catch up. It's
You
like, just
guys,
tell me where you're
CJ
going.
was lane splitting onto oncoming traffic.
Oh,
That was totally CJ. He's not drinking Monster.
oh yeah. That-
Oh no. Remember when I I told you I had earlier?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, he is on you tonight. Big fan.
I think I
See?
should be able to commit to at least once a month, even if it's a short one rambling about the tail of the dragon sucks or something.
I mean, you've
That would be a
been,
whole thing.
especially from last year, of how many places you went. I mean, you could just literally sit down and talk about some of the roads. I mean, you were up in South
Dude,
Dakota for like a
3
month or
months.
so.
No, 3 months. It was almost 3
Oh
months.
yeah,
I left well, to be fair, part of that was riding down to Arkansas and Oklahoma and Texas. I saw you
yeah,
in Texas.
yeah,
But do
yeah.
you
And
wanna
then we
forget about
rode, and
that?
then we rode back. Yeah,
Yeah, from Texas to
because I knew Ryan was going to Texas to pick up his wife, so I was kind of. And then I saw that you were going down there, so it was
and
kind of
we
trying
rode
to
up to
meet up with one of
Stubborn.
them. Yep.
That was fun.
And then your transmission started having problems.
Yours did. Both of ours did. Oh, you mean after I left?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that whole thing, I was going for my 35K service for that. I was going for my 35K service, and I think I was at like 34 or 5 or something. Anyways, but I was just going there for the service, and I was like, "Hey, it sometimes gets stuck when I try to shift down from second onto first.
Okay.
Like, so my shifter would get stuck."
Yeah. So, which would be your, and the transmission would have been your shift paw. So, because you got little paws in there that open up every time you shift and click into gear. So yeah, it's a whole lot of moving pieces in there. And that's
You
one
don't
reason I
say.
was asking, because I know what's in a regular transmission. That's why I wanted to see what is in with the traction control, all that kind of stuff. Cause I'm like, that's so much more electronics because yours
Yeah.
yours have traction control.
Yeah, so it was the first and second shifter forks that broke.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, that
Yep.
was a pretty penny.
Oh, I can imagine. Hey, at least you did not give in to peer pressure and get into the burnout pit, because I guarantee
Oh, I
though
know.
it would
Frickin'
have gone.
Adam. Oh my gosh. Ugh, man.
And then Adam gets in there with his Indian and just sends it. And it's like, you
He
know,
was he was definitely trying to blow up that tire.
oh
He
yeah. I
had
mean,
to have been.
he
Like,
did it.
I know. I know. I swear, like, he was in there for like it felt like 20 minutes, but it was probably long do you think it actually was? Like 6 minutes?
I would say 6. I mean, because
That was a lot of
I
stuff.
mean, yeah, you get in there and just crank down for what would last you on a new tire months, miles. You
Yeah.
start doing a burnout, it goes.
I almost was gonna do a burnout, when I dropped Arya off last week, but then so I had messaged my friend who's the GM there, and I was like, "Hey, you wanna teach me how to do a burnout?" And he was like, "Yeah, just do this and this." And I was like or he was like, "Just make sure you don't let go and end up tilting your bike sideways and dropping it." And I was like, "Okay,
Oh,
I really can't afford to hurt this bike because this is like if I did it on Bastion, who cares, you know?
well,
Or at least a bike that's already paid off. Neither
my
of those
biggest thing
things.
with that, with trying to do that, is with ABS,
Right, I'd have to turn that off.
right? Like, because it'd be pulsing. Um,
I don't think burnouts are that great. I think they are a waste of money. There, I said it.
I mean, if you're a stunt rider, if you're, I mean, they're great entertainment, but if you're riding the bike somewhere and doing a burnout, I don't think it's smart, because then it's like, well, are you
Yeah,
going to make it home? Are you going to make it to your next destination?
yeah.
So
I don't have
that's kind of
and the
where
money,
I
having the
lean
money.
on that.
Right, like, having the time and the money and the resources and all that to be doing that. I mean, they look cool. I love watching other people do it.
See, that's why, like, if I ever get back out the Stubborn and I trailer the Sportster, heck
Yeah.
yeah, I'll get out there and put the Sportster in it and just send it. I really will. But see, the Sportster is a whole different beast.
Yeah.
Now, because I got my rev limiter set on that, like lower, technically I can pull it up to about 7,000 RPMs, which is pretty high. Even like when I got the Bagger dyno tune, he tuned that thing or set the rev limiter at like 6,000. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, that's for as big as those pistons, because like crotch rockets, like, and like your rev limiter, like if you're in 3,000-4,000, that thing ain't moving. It's
Yeah.
like, you're way higher. But
Yeah.
if you look at the pistons, they're a lot smaller, especially than a 114, because it's like they're cubic inches. So,
I've hardly ridden that dang sport bike.
Oh, I took out while I was down in Daytona, because I don't just always ride Harleys, because actually the Harleys, if I do test rides on them, they don't do as well on my channel. So I like to test out different bikes, and it gives me a different perspective. But I took out a Indian FTR 1200.
Ooh, I've heard those are fun.
Oh, that was. And see, the cool thing about it, which is all going to be in the video, it was supposed to be a guided ride because of how fast. They were like, we're going to trust you and just sit me out by myself on it. I'm like, okay, let's have fun. I'm like, okay. It's like,
You just gave off. You just gave off like nice guy vibes. They're like, he'll behave.
Yeah. Well, they were, they really didn't want to go out. They all that. So they're like, here, just go. I was like, fine. That's like, I'm glad you're not doing a guided ride, because then I wouldn't got to actually, one, I don't think it'd have been as great of a video, because I wouldn't been able to open it up. It'd been just sitting there, just okay. Because I mean, I took out at Barber's, I went out on a BMW, one of their sport bikes, and it was guided, but everybody else was falling behind. Now the lead person knew I was videoing, wanted to open it up some, but it wasn't like, hey, we could actually get into it. So it made it difficult to really put a real review on that.
Yeah.
What's up, Dallas?
Hello. So, Mr. Muhammad, I think I can commit possibly to at least one video a month. That's a good. I was trying to get myself to do a video a week, and I think like I was one of those people that like I skipped a week and then I skipped another week, and like it just kept being too much. So I can commit to one a month at least.
Yeah. I mean, if you can do like at least one a month to two a month, that's a pretty good, because then it gives you time to kind of edit it, film it, kind of plan it out.
It's just been a rough few months financially, so it's like, and I think it kind of works out, because it was a rough few months financially, but at least it was during the winter months, which I ride year round anyways, but it was still like, I don't know. At least it happened during the winter when, it's not as I mean, it's still enjoyable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. And see, I was talking to you because I actually partnered up with a few companies, and I'm so happy to get rid of all the battery stuff, and all my heated gear now is now plug-in. So big shout out to Kimimoto on that stuff, because it has been amazing. And not only that, but I like that it actually keeps me dry. So I use it not just for heated gear, but rain gear. Now, I probably during the summer need actual specific rain gear, because that will be kind of hot to put that on. But
just unplug it in.
Yeah. Well, then like if I stop somewhere. So it's kind of, I got to look at that. But for the most part, I mean, amazing. I don't have to keep up with 20 freaking batteries.
Yeah.
And charging those, because like like leaving Stubborn, I had getting into some of that colder. It was shifting a little bit the next day or so. And I was like, okay, I got to get to the hotel, plugging in batteries.
I love her. Hi, Iron Butterfly. I love your name. Butterflies. Tee.
Yeah, and then Doc Harley's going to TMMR. That's one I do want to hit up because that is in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So Doc Harley, you'll have to let me know how that is. I've seen videos. That one seems like a really good time. And it's like Stubborn, like I think it's Smokeout in North Carolina, somewhere over there. The Smokeout rally.
There is a Smokeout rally. Then there's also Thunder in the Smokies, I think.
Now that one's in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But
no, is it? No, what's the one in? I'm thinking of the one in Maggie Valley. I think it is Thunder in the Smokies. I thought
that one might be. I know there's two they do around there. One's more like an event, small event like Thunder Beach, but then I know they do one like at Maggie Valley.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that. Who knows? Google knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thunder in the Smokies, Maggie Valley.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not always right, but when I think I'm right, I'm usually right. It makes sense if you don't think about it.
What's up, Sailor Moto?
We're at that hour mark.
Yeah, we are. Hey, that's literally my longest live that I've done, but which is amazing, but again, having, an amazing guest on here just makes it easier to talk to and make the live.
You always have a good time talking and chatting.
Oh yeah. When you can actually talk bikes and do. So yeah.
It's just weird. We tolerate each other's weirdness. It's cool.
Hey, as long as you don't get me drunk like that one time.
I would never.
Oh yeah. Like how you didn't get tipsy at Stubborn American.
Yeah. It was the very last night.
Yeah, see, I like that. Like where he's talking about Maggie Valley.
I love Maggie Valley.
I say I want to get back there, go through Wheels Through Time, actually spend like a couple hours.
You haven't been there?
I have. Went with the wife, but again, the wife isn't so into motorcycles, all that kind of stuff. So it was a real quick kind of, but I want to get back there, see Maggie Valley. But see, that's one reason I do like going to the small rallies. You actually connect more with the people. You can sit down. You're not go like Daytona Sturgis.
Yeah.
But I still want to get to Sturgis for the riding. I actually would like to get there several days before the event, do the riding, and then experience Sturgis, even if it's like 2 days, 3 days, and then ride home.
Yeah, I definitely want to go back. And I did a good bit of riding there, but I definitely want to do more. There were a couple of places that I didn't go to. But I think I'm either just going to go by myself or be pickier about who I go with next time around. We should go. We can go. Favorite bike? I have my favorite bike.
Oh. I would say my bread and butter would be Sportsters because you can go so many different ways with it. The only thing I don't like doing to a Sportster, and I know so many people do it, is basically turning it into a mini bagger. So
that's what all they could afford, though.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like that's just not my style. Yeah. I'm saying, I know some people do it because it is lighter, and it's one reason they do it. I'm just saying, but kick starts on it, slammed out. I mean, I don't know, and they're easy to work on. That's the thing about it. Like besides putting a whole engine in it,
Yeah.
On that, I would say my second choice is probably got to be the Street Glide. Now, I know you were looking at the new Road Glide ST, and I did get to test ride one of those out.
The CVOST?
Yeah.
Why didn't we talk about this sooner? Bye, Corey.
Night, Corey. Yep, exactly, Dark Harley. They make great choppers, great performance bike. I don't know. It's just, and you know, there is a reason why it is the longest lasting Evo Harley had. There is a reason.
Or TVS XL. What? I don't know what that is.
TVS.
My favorite bike, if it wasn't super obvious, is the bike that I already have, which is my Road Glide Special. And even so, looks wise, I still like my bike more than the CVOST. I have not gotten to ride a CVOST.
I'm working on that video right now. Really am. But I like it for a, well, you couldn't really say stock bike, but off the showroom floor. Because it's already got the upgraded brakes, reservoir, floating rotors,
they did a really good job of it. Yeah.
So for very few modifications, like I would do different bars because to me, even, and I'm not a tall person, but I still feel like they're a little short for me to where I'd rather bring it up a little higher.
See, on the Road Glide, I almost thought the bars were a little too high, but they weren't bad.
Night, Doc Harley. Hey, thanks for joining in. Okay, here is a village bike. Okay. I've
never seen one or been on one.
I'm trying to picture that, I guess.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it. It's literally, it's like a scooter looking thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like a scooter, and it looks like kind of like a scooter slash bicycle. Kind of reminds me of like the Wicked Thumb bikes, but not really, because it's definitely more scooter style. So people, like, you don't have to lift up your. Yeah, it's a scooter. It looks like from everything that I'm seeing. I think.
So that'd be interesting. I mean, for around town or a little campground like Adam has, that'd probably be fun to ride. I still have not ride one of those Wicked bikes.
So Iron Butterfly, I actually did upgrade my shocks, but I actually lifted my bike because I was scraping too much. So I was on my tippy toes already. Now I'm even more on my tippy toes, but that's okay because you just keep practicing and you just keep riding to where, my concern for dropping the bike wasn't as bad as my concern of like scraping all the time and catching. So like my skill level surpassed my fear of dropping the bike on like in the slower maneuver. So I just basically practice your slower maneuvers enough, and then it's okay if you're just tiptoeing your bike. So I can't flat foot.
And that's a lot of the downside you kind of get when you do lower is depending on how aggressive you ride. And I know how aggressive you ride, at 12 inches, yeah, you'd be scraping. I mean, I had mine lowered like a whole inch. And a lot of that was for the wife when she was riding.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it as much because I was losing that travel for that comfort and the lane angle. So when I changed everything over to Geezer Engineering, the rear went back up and the front, because I don't like have the rear lower than the front. Now, I know some people do it, but for actual handling purposes, I like to have it as level as possible.
Yeah.
So, but I got all that lean back when I went back to a 13 in the rear. I just didn't feel like going to a 14 because then I'd really be on my tippy toes or possibly not be able to touch.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think I could do 13 or 14s.
now the only bike,
I was gonna
now
say,
the only,
go ahead.
now the only bike I would do 14s or is the Sportster, but
Oh, yeah.
there's a big difference because of how narrow.
Right.
So,
See, I could maybe do 14s if I only ever wore boots. But like sometimes I wear Vans. Don't yell at me, y'all. But
hey, I'm not one, I like my Indy Ridge because they're more of that boot
I need
shoe.
to get some of those. Yeah, those look cool.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed. Mr. Mohammed, sir. I don't want to butcher your first name. Yeah, you're definitely going to be scraping going down to 11. But just keep like getting more comfortable with it and everything, and then you can eventually go back up to 12 or 13. But that's super cool that you also have a road glide.
you know, just because like you're a short person, like I find it amazing because you shouldn't be limited just because of size of what bike you want to ride.
Mhm.
And it's all about getting comfortable with that bike, turning that bike into yours because and that's what I've done to mine. Like that's why I went back in, changed the bars, making it more mine
Yeah.
because it's more comfortable. Once you kind of get comfortable with your bike and know the ins and out, and that's one reason I like doing all the work to my bike because then I know the maintenance, I know what's been done, but I'm able to do that, and it just keeps me more up to date on the maintenance.
Yeah.
Plus, the bikes if you look at the speedometer, the bike's got over 150,000 miles on it. So literally, the transmission's got over 150,000 on it.
Yeah.
Not all the parts. I mean, luckily, engine wise, from top end has right around 20,000 on it.
Yeah. So Iron Butterfly, I also so I'm 5'6", but I have the inseam of someone that's like 5'2". I have really short legs for my height. Um but yeah, tiptoeing on gravel is hard. Like there's times that like so before I go somewhere, I always look at the parking lot like on Google Maps. I kind of try to have an idea before I get in there. And I am not above like stopping and going a different way or parking somewhere else different than where everyone else is parking just to, you have to know to ride within your comfort level and your skill level and also not to have too much pride to where, you don't ask people for help. Like I have asked people to help me back up many times and
Oh, there's a reel about that,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
in Milwaukee,
In the
but
grass.
we both got stuck, which was pretty funny about
You both
that
have little
because
legs. But also
hey, I
that
do
that field
too.
was awful, and it's like
Uh,
yeah, that field was so bad, and, like,
it was. I
it was so
mean,
crowded, like, I was gonna just go around and loop, but, like, normally, especially, like, if I'm by myself and I know that I'm not gonna have somebody there to help me in those situations, I'll be more cautious as far as, like, looking up the place in advance to kinda have a plan of, like, where I wanna park or, like, I don't know, just parking in a different way to where I don't have to back up or do as much backing up on gravel. But because I'm a strong, independent woman and I try to do it by myself, but sometimes I can't, and that is okay.
I
So,
mean, you handle that road glide almost like it's like you're low rider. I mean,
no, I handle the road glide better than the low rider. I actually ride the road. Yeah, I'm better on the road glide than the low rider. I don't like.
I'm working on a little bit of my slow maneuvering, especially when I go see Robert and stuff like that and Joe, because that's what they mostly do on their channels.
Yeah.
Especially Robert, I don't want him to show up and like It's like,
yeah, I could more comfortably do a U-turn on my road glide than I'd probably be able to on my lowrider. I don't know why. I just love it. I eventually want an adventure rider.
okay, let's.
I don't understand the question though.
I guess like he's asking. I don't get the haunted place part, but like an adventure rider or adventure bike.
Yeah.
Like I got test ride out a Pan American, and I love that bike. I mean, it's fun, but where I am, all I would really be able to do is ride it on the street. If I was out more like California area where I could go out in the desert and stuff like that, that would probably be my primary bike, or I would have one. But I mean, it's a fun bike.
I'm responding to the Iron Butterfly. I
Right.
was also going to ask, what seat do you have? Because the seat will also make a big difference on how high or low you sit on your bike. If you still have the stock seat, that might be why. But I have,
Yeah.
if you do a road sofa too, I had the road sofa and that sat me up like another inch or two higher. Like I cannot at all wear my Vans if I have the road sofa. Like I'm not even on my tippies. I'm like on my toes if I try to do that.
Okay. She said she's got a custom Corbin.
Is it wider in the front to where you have to have your legs out more? Because if it's wider on the front, then that's gonna make it a little higher. But
Right.
if you
I
can,
don't know with Corbins because now,
they
like,
make different ones. Yeah.
yeah, that's one reason I don't like Mustangs. I'm not a fan of it. And it's kind of funny. I went through a whole seat collection with the bagger now until
Yeah.
I got my Saddleman, because when I got it, it had a Mustang. Didn't like it. Pushed my legs out wider. My buddy had a seat that wouldn't fit his bike, so he traded it for mine. Custom seat looked ugly. I mean, snake skin, ugly. And it was like a big pillow top. I mean, it sat me up probably 3 inches. It had so much padding, pushed my legs out. I mean, it was
Yeah.
probably a big pillow. And then the Saddleman, and this is one reason because I'm short, it's narrow in the front
You have
to
a
where
step
my
up.
leg. Yeah, I got the step up and I got
Yeah.
a road sofa. But I
Yeah.
didn't notice that with like it setting me up higher on the road
You
sofa.
didn't?
I really didn't notice that part that much.
I did for me. Maybe it's because maybe it just needs to break in a little more, but I don't know. But I do have to hop off of here. I need to eat and get to
Yeah, yeah, I got to do the same thing. But I'm glad all you guys were able to join us. Had a great night, and I will catch you later. Hopefully, be able to see you on the road, or we can do another
Yes.
live sometime this year. So,
Yes, we will. And Iron Butterfly, yes, just keep practicing and just keep riding. Like literally, I even practice slow maneuvers when I'm just out riding by myself, coming up to a stop sign. If there's like no one behind me, I'll just start going like as slow as I can and
and that's
just
what you got to do.
yeah,
I
even
mean,
gas
just practice,
station.
practice, practice. I mean, having the bike set up and then practicing,
Yeah. Oh,
because
getting some
I'm
good
still
water.
learning on mine. I mean, I'm getting to the point where like tighter turns, I can literally just walk it around in a circle.
Oh,
I'm still,
fancy.
I can't scrape it yet, but all right. Thanks, guys,
Good
and
night.
night.
Night.